So what we're going to be doing this week, just so that anybody who tunes in isn't looking at dead air, we're talking about healing this week, different kinds of healing modalities that you can learn to do, that we do in this group, and that we do on our full training and coaching program, Fibro Freedom Formula, You Healing You. So these are little pieces of the program that I have learned from different programs. I have several healing certifications, and I have included many of them in the program. And so we're just doing some of these here so that we can help you out and make you feel better. So we'll be looking at some guided meditations this week, practicing those. It's the easiest way to learn how to meditate. And meditation is extremely good for us on all levels. It's good for us physically. It's good for lowering blood pressure, for relieving stress. It's good for us mentally and emotionally. It helps clear our mind. It helps us to see our thought processes. So we start to understand how our mind works a little more by meditating. It's not a matter of stopping thought process. It's a matter of learning about them. So that's what we're doing there. We'll also do a hypnosis. We'll talk about some limiting beliefs and belief clearing. And we'll do sessions of the spontaneous transformation technique, which is a very short talk therapy that you can do with a partner, which is how I'll demonstrate it, but you can also learn how to do it with me so that you can do it by yourself. Okay, so it can be used both for physical pain and for emotional or mental distress. We'll do some movement if you want to do that, if there are people who are live with us who want information on stretching the upper body, particularly the neck and shoulders. We hold a lot of tension there, so we can do that. And I would also like for us to talk together about what you would like to have included in these sessions in the future. So it is 12:01 now, so I started a minute before 12. Leah is busy tagging everyone, so you all get a message saying that this live is happening now. And so she's still busy working on that. And I will start with our prayer. So if you close your eyes and join me, and whether you are with us here live or whether you're watching the replay, the prayer is for all of us. So I call upon God, our higher selves, our healing guides, our departed family and friends who are free to travel to the earth space and join us to just be with us, to support us as we go through these healing experiences, to make it easier for people to understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and to allow the healing to actually work inside our bodies. Because no one can heal us from the outside. Our healing is only from the inside. So we're asking our guides to be with us, especially our healing guides, to be with us so that we can use the healing that we're learning here together. So we heal ourselves. We're learning this healing so we can heal ourselves, and we pray for that to happen, and we ask our spirits to join us in that process. So that's the prayer that I'm offering for us here today, and today being whenever you happen to be watching this recording. So I say that, amen, and so it is. And thank you all for joining us. Thank you for participating in that very casual prayer. And a prayer is nothing but talking to God, to the universe, to source, to our guides, and just talking to them. The prayer doesn't have to be official. It certainly can be, but it can be as casual as you want to make it to. So that's what that was. And now we will, as Leah is still tagging you, I am going to peek in Zoom and see who I see. And I don't see any guests here yet. I see Leah is here, but she is muted and off screen while she works on contacting you. And so I don't see anyone here, and I will, what will I do? Will I wait or will I continue without you? I think I will wait a couple of minutes. So at 12:04, we're pausing the video for a couple of minutes. Well, we're not pausing the video, but it will be inactive for a couple of minutes. And then I'll check back and see who's here in a couple of minutes. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just waiting to see who shows up, because I don't want to have to keep restarting. We'll start when there's people here to start with. Actually, while we're waiting, there is something I'm trying to open. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. That's not it. Leah, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. The promise of the medicine woman doesn't seem to be where it's supposed to be on the bottom of our schedule. I see the schedule there again rather than the promise of the medicine woman. So would you find that for me?
Okay.
And if you have permission to share your screen already.
Okay. I will put the link there.
Put the link where?
Here in the schedule document.
In chat?
All right, wait now.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean. Where are you putting the link? You can just share your screen.
Yes, wait now. Apply. Okay, share screen. What? I didn't hit the share screen. Share screen here.
Thank you. That's the one. Okay, you can go back to what you were doing there. And while we're waiting for people to show up, I'm just going to go through this beautiful poem.
Okay.
And this is the promise of a medicine woman. It's an unknown author, and somebody just joined us. Let me see if I can figure out who that was.
Okay.
I believe it's Susan. Hi, Susan.
So the Susan is there. So.
Yeah, Susan is here. Hi, Susan. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
And oh, dear, your cold worse?
No, it's just the first time I've talked today.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. You can be quiet. I am going to read the beautiful poem. I think it was you that sent me this poem, The Promise of the Medicine Woman. Posted it in LinkedIn or something. Anyway, it's beautiful. So I thought I would read this poem as we're waiting for people to show up. So, if you come to me as a victim, I will not support you, but I will have the courage to walk with you through the pain that you are suffering. I will put you in the fire. I will undress you. I will sit you on the couch. I will bathe you with herbs. I will purge you, and you will vomit the rage and darkness inside you. I'll bang your body with good herbs. I'll put you to lay in the grass, face up in the sky. Then I will blow your crown to clean the memories that make you repeat the same behavior. I will blow your forehead to scare away the thoughts that cloud your vision. I will blow your throat to release the knot that won't let you talk. I will blow your heart to scare fear so that it goes away where it cannot find you. I will blow your solar plexus to extinguish the fire of the hell you carry inside, and you will know peace. I will blow with fire your belly to burn the attachments and the love that was not. I will blow your heart to make you warm, to rekindle your desire to feel, create, and start again. I will blow with force your vagina or your penis to clean the sexual door to your soul. I will blow away the garbage that you collected trying to love what did not want to be loved. I will use the broom and the sponge and the rag and safely clean all the bitterness inside you. I will blow your hands to destroy the ties that prevent you from creating. I will blow your feet to dust and erase the footprints' memories so that you never return to that bad place. I will turn your body so that your face will kiss the earth. I'll blow your spine from the root to the neck to increase your strength and help you walk upright. And I will let you rest. After this, you will cry, and after crying, you will sleep. And then you will dream beautiful and meaningful dreams. And when you wake up, I'll be waiting for you. I will smile at you, and you will smile back. I will offer you food that you will eat with pleasure, tasting life, and I will thank you. Because what I'm offering today was offered to me before when darkness lived within. And after I was healed, I felt the darkness leaving, and I cried. Then we will walk together, and I will show you my garden and my plants, and I will take you to the fire again. And we will talk together in a single voice and with blessing of the earth. And we will shout to the forest the desires of your heart. And the fire will listen and whisper the echo, and we will create hope together. And the mountains will listen and whisper the echo, and we will create hope together. And the wind will listen and whisper the echo, and we will create hope together. And then we will bow before the fire, and we will call upon all the visible and invisible guardians. And you will say thank you to them all. And you will say thank you to yourself. And you will say thank you to yourself. And you will say thank you to yourself. And that is the prayer of the shaman, or of the medicine woman, unknown author. And this isn't how we do things these days, but this is exactly what we will be doing in our healing sessions. We won't be using the techniques. I won't be blowing on you. Double masked and vaccinated, and virtually blowing doesn't do much good. But we will be using processes that do these same things. Healing is healing, and this is a lovely description of the benefits of healing. As I say, the techniques are very different, but the work being done is the work that we do here. We'll be scaring away thoughts that no longer serve us. We'll be scaring away fear. We'll be trying to put out the fire of the suffering you carry. So this has as much truth in it as anything that you could read that would exactly describe what we're doing today. It was probably written a couple hundred years ago. Who knows where, by what culture, but it is a beautiful poem, and it describes the healing process very well. So, welcome to today's session. We are on day 2, and we have said our prayer. We have gone through this prayer of the medicine woman, and now we will decide what it is that we would like to do in this particular session. We have sessions every day this week, same time every day, and Leah is notifying people by by tagging them in the Facebook group so that you'll get a notice that the meetings are starting. So that has been done. So I'm assuming if you're planning to attend, you have received the notice from Leah, and you either will come or you will watch the replays later. So we can get started with what we're going to do today. So if you would unshare that screen, Leah. Okay, and we're back to us. And we have a small but committed group here of women who are healing and who are helping to heal others and who are healing ourselves. So we have a schedule of what we can do, of different opportunities that are available for the day. There are several guided meditations. There's a hypnosis. We can talk about limiting beliefs, about belief clearing. We can do spontaneous transformation. We can do movement. We can do tapping. We have limited number of volunteers. So I will ask my two volunteers if there is anything that you would like to volunteer for, and if not, I'll just pick something that we can do solo. But if there's something that you would like to volunteer for, Leah or Susan, please speak up. Could you hear a word I said, Susan?
Good, but it was very quiet. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly now.
It was the volume was way down, and yesterday on my phone I had no problem at all hearing. So I'm not sure what's.
My volume is at the same level. Leah, do I need to be turned up? I'm not sure if turning me up turns up my microphone or if it just turns up my sound.
Oh, I found another way. Okay, this may help.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's odd.
No?
It didn't make. I'm sorry to interfere with tech on my end.
It's funny. This time I can't hear you as well with the headset.
Huh.
Maybe you're split between both now. You just did something that I heard. Talk to me.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I better stick with that because anytime I go off headphone, it's probably on my end because you were full volume on my phone yesterday, and now on my laptop it's not. It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. Okay.
There are so many.
So what the only thing you missed is that I said since we are the ones here, we're going to pick out what's going on. I did list some of the things. It's going to be the same processes that we went through before, with the hypnosis, the various meditations, spontaneous transformation technique for pain or for upset. What else is on that list? Can't remember it in my head. Oh, limiting beliefs, belief clearing, movement for neck or shoulders and the door exercises, and tapping. So those are some of the things that we can do today. And since you're here, you and Leah get to pick which things that you would like to have me do, and we'll just spread them out. So if either of you have a choice, let me know. If you don't, then I'll just play one of the meditations. It's not a problem. You don't have to have.
I'm leaning towards meditation or guided visualization because I'm still kind of not not back to 100%.
Yep. Okay. Leah, did you have anything that you wanted to do before we do that? We can do something with you after if you like to.
I think for limiting belief.
Okay. So let's do the guided meditation first, and then we'll talk about limiting beliefs. Does that work? Okay. We have a plan. So guided meditations, we have, I will give you a choice. We have a meditation to open up to everything. We have a meditation to breathe, meditate, and ask for guidance. We have a meditation to 0 point in the quantum field. We have a meditation of me reading Moji And another one that is a trip from inside the body to way out in space. So those are the guided meditations. If one of those appeals to you, let me know. And if not, I'll just click on one.
Guidance, and the first one, I can't remember what exactly it was called, but I'm needing to make a decision this week. If I don't make it this week, I can still make it later. But if I could make it this week, it would be in my
Okay.
Anyway, I feel like I need guidance, I guess. I guess guidance is what's coming to me now that I say this.
Okay. So breathe, meditate, and ask for guidance.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Leah, will you click that one for us?
Okay, I will share screen.
And this is so that my voice doesn't get all raspy. I recorded these in advance. This is another meditation. Spiritual experience inside the body and outside the body. A guided meditation. Don't think that's it. You can experience yourself as a spirit leaving. The one we're looking for is breathe, meditate, and ask for guidance.
Okay. Why is it not here?
Sorry, folks. Technical.
Well, Leah works on
okay,
that.
We'll find it.
Maybe,
we'll find it.
I was going to say maybe the universe wants a. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm not lighting up. Maybe the universe Maybe the universe just wants us to do out of the body and into the. Maybe that's what's meant to be. Maybe it's in our own best interest, and technology knows better than we do. I'm just. It's possible.
Too. So, Leah, are you struggling to find that one? Leah? Did we?
I am finding.
Oh, you are finding because Susan has said we can use the other one. But if you can find it, we'll go with that.
Okay.
I could read the words, and she clicked on the one that ends in the word guidance, but yet when she tapped on it, a different showed up. It's like it changed. That's why I'm wondering if the great mystery, the great unknown, wants us to.
That would actually be us. One of us put in a wrong link.
Oh.
Yeah, if it was the universe who did that, I'd say yes, you're absolutely right. But nah, we made a mistake, I think. Not the first, and probably won't be the last. But
well, many artists would tell you that their greatest art came from their greatest mistake.
It does, yes.
I'm not an artist, so I can't say.
I think it is.
You think you have it? Guided meditation. It's called Breathe, Meditate, and Ask for Guidance. Thank you, Leah. And there's no image with this one. This is just just a meditation. So you can just put us back up, and we can turn our pictures on. So I can't offer you any specific guidance for your life. Turn it up, Leah. Bring you right now. But I can offer you this simple, direct way to relax into now and to ask your own inner guidance. Start with some really deep breaths. Sit with your back straight and feet flat on the floor. Your back isn't rigid, it's just straight. Put your right hand on your lower belly and your left hand on your heart. Relax. You are going to take 10 to 20 really slow, really deep breaths in to relax and to get clear. I will show you how to take these breaths. We'll go through the procedure once before you begin. Relax a little deeper. slowly. Breathe in so deeply and fully that your lungs fill and even your lower belly fills. And notice that your right hand on your belly rises. Then notice the end of the breath and hold it for just a second or more. Relax. Even more slowly, breathe out completely. Notice when the air is fully released and just hold for a second or so. Relax. Notice that you are breathing and consider this. You are fully in the present. We are unable to breathe in the past or breathe in the future, so you are solidly present in the now. The present moment here is safe and comfortable. Repeat this exact same breath pattern at least 10 times, or even up to 20 or more once you've practiced it. And you can do this on your own. Notice that you are breathing, and notice that you are fully in the present. Doesn't matter which stage of breathing you are at, you remain fully in the present. There's no need to think about your last breath or anticipate your first breath. You're fully involved in the breath that you're taking and in the part of the breath that you're taking. Don't try to rush yourself. Every cell in your body and in your brain needs oxygen, and you are gifting yourself all that it needs right now. Your body thanks you for taking your time. Just repeat these breaths. Slowly breathing in so deeply and fully that your lungs fill and even your lower belly fills. And notice that your right hand on your belly rises. Then notice the end of the breath and hold it for a second or more. Relax. Even more slowly, breathe out completely. Notice when the air is fully released and just hold for a second or so. Relax. Allow the quiet. There's nothing but you and your breath. Allow yourself to sit quietly, still and aware of your breath. You may breathe normally now. Thoughts will come up. Now that you've stopped focusing on your breathing, thoughts will naturally arise. That's okay. Even chatter may come up. That is okay too. Everything is okay. You're still in the moment and everything is safe. Just notice. If a thought comes up, simply notice that it's a thought. Allow it to pass through your mind like a cloud passes across the sky. It's simply there. You don't have to delve in and see what it's about. It's just there and you let it go. And you notice that you may have followed some thought or chatter down a path. Just notice and let it go. You don't have to keep going down the path. Just let the chatter go. Let the thought go. Go back to your perspective and look at the thoughts crossing like clouds in the sky. They're just going by. They aren't you. You are the awareness. The thoughts are just passing by. You get to decide whether you engage the thoughts or not. You are in the now, not following a thought about the past, not following a thought about the future, simply fully in your conscious awareness and in now. Relax into your calm, normal breaths and the releasing of all thoughts. Stay here. You can stay for 20 minutes or so if you like. Your mind will not be quiet or empty. That's okay. The point is not to empty the mind, but simply to notice the mind and notice the mental processes which have lots of chatter. That's all. You're not to change your mind. You're simply to notice what happens when you are noticing it. Relax into the breaths and the releasing of the thoughts, seeing them simply as clouds going across the sky. A thought equals a cloud. Awareness equals the sky. There's no need to engage. You are fully engaged in your awareness. What you are focusing on is your awareness, your consciousness, and the thoughts float by in your consciousness, in your awareness. You choose whether or not to follow them. And when we don't have our conscious awareness engaged, we sometimes follow these thoughts. And some of them make us feel good, and some of them make us worry, and some of them make us feel guilty. The thoughts are responsible for all of our feelings. We don't have feelings before thoughts. So when we want to be calm and peaceful, we simply get into our awareness and we observe our thoughts, the clouds that float by, the clouds that we can very easily choose not to look at. As I look out my window now, the clouds are very thick. There are a few spaces between the clouds. The clouds are covering lots of the sky. That does not mean that I have to go into the clouds, because I am still separate from the clouds. My awareness is still separate from the clouds, from the thoughts. As many clouds as there are up there, and as much as it looks like it is as gray as it is normally blue, there is no reason for me to enter the clouds. I have no inclination to enter those clouds, to enter those thoughts. My inclination is to stay in my awareness and to just observe the mental processes. I've been meditating for decades now, so the clouds don't bother me. The clouds, when I slip into meditation, I can actually slip in very easily, and you can slip in too. The trick is to know what you're doing, to know the purpose, and the purpose is not to eliminate your thoughts. The thoughts are still there, as the clouds are still there in the sky, but we don't have to go into them. We can stay exactly where we are, fully grounded, fully centered in our spirit, in our consciousness, and in our awareness, and observe the processes. Chatter gets very quiet. Takes a while, There's so much to look at, so much to pay attention to when you first started doing this observation work. I barely remember what there is to distract, because I've been doing this for so long. But I do remember when I was first learning, my first meditation style was transcendental. And I would ask my teachers over and over, well, what does this happen? And what do I do if this? And what happens if that? And why does this work? Tell me what it is, and how. And I was howing and whying and very stuck in my head. And that's what you need to let go of. There's no need to be stuck in our head. We can step into our essence, step into our core. Just be in your spirit. Recognize that you have an essence, a core. Step into that. And then it is so easy to see that these processes are separate. So notice that there will be brief moments when no thought is there. There's nothing to label, there's nothing to release. You're just relaxing. You're enjoying fleeting moments of quiet, and know that you have just witnessed your own pure awareness or consciousness between your thoughts. And that's where we want to go, in the gap between our thoughts. That's where our consciousness is. That's where spirit is. And there, we are all identical. There are no differences between us at the spirit level. We are all source. We are all universe. We are all God. We are all love. It's only more superficial layers that cause us to be different. So when more people meditate and more people experience this blissful state of just quiet, calm, peaceful awareness, it's good. It's good for you. It's good for your health. It's good for the planet. I wonder if the planet meditates. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Gaia doesn't meditate. If she's not somehow escaping from all of the chaos that's going on in the world and the climate change and all of the stuff that's happening. I betcha that Gaia, the goddess of the earth, also meditates and observes all of the things happening and just steps back and steps away into the calm center. It's there for all of us. So when you're there in this quiet space, and listen to the quiet, relax in it, and listen to your guidance. You will know it. You can ask your guidance questions. You can ask questions when you're in this place of quiet, or you can even ask questions when you are not in this place of quiet yet, when you're in your normal state. And then when you go into meditation and get into this quiet state, you'll be able to hear the answers as they bubble up. Or you can ask to have answers delivered to you, like first thing in the morning when you wake up. You can ask guidance to help you. It's available. The answers will just come from your subconscious. They'll come from spirit through your subconscious and bubble up into your conscious mind. Make notes of your answers. You might want to keep a journal of your questions and answers. Keep asking questions and keep getting answers. Keep making notes of the guidance you receive. Don't get frustrated. If that wasn't comfortable for you to just listen, you might find it easier to do this once you get into this quiet state as an automatic writing exercise. In that case, you would meditate. And then when you finish the meditation, come out and just do an automatic writing exercise. Use paper or use a journal. Ask questions and simply write out your answers. Because you've already been here, you've already asked the questions to guidance. And so they can just pour out of you as you write, and you don't have to think about it. It will just come. Just allow it. The answers just come to you through your subconscious. Write automatically, whatever comes. Just let it flow. Don't read it. Don't judge it. Don't edit it in any way. Write until there's no more to come and no more to ask. And then just go and get yourself a large glass of water and sip on it until it's gone. Water is essential for life and for wellness. Your body thanks you for the gift. You've just been gifted by your spirit, and now it's time to gift your body with this water. Then you can read the results of your meditation in automatic reading. What did you discover? Maybe nothing that seems significant to you now. That's okay. You had the experience. What you discovered was that your awareness is separate from your thoughts. That your thoughts are just things that populate your awareness, and you get to experience your awareness for the first time. And the awareness is like the sheet of paper that you write on, and the thoughts are like the writing that appears on a sheet. You don't have to write on a sheet. It can just be there. It can just be clear awareness, or you can fill it with thoughts. That's who you are. You've just met your spirit. You've just met your awareness. You are love. You are part of God. You are part of all that is. The universe is in you. This is the universe that is in you. The same consciousness awareness is in all of us. It's in all things. It is what connects us. This space is what connects us, is in all of us. See you next time. Leah, we're finished with the screen share. I have my video on, but I don't see myself. I only see Susan.
See you all, both of you.
Oh, you see all of us? Okay.
Yes.
And Leah, what do you see? Do you see everybody?
Yes, I see every one of us here.
Okay, so okay, I just needed to enlarge us. Now I see us all. The gang's all here. Okay. How was that meditation for you, Susan? Was that helpful?
Yes, and I felt very loved by something greater than all of us. When you said the space between us connects us, I'm paraphrasing, but because it was more of a feeling. I don't even have the exact words in my head because I heard space in between us and we're connected. It felt very loving.
Great.
And when you mentioned your teachers in transcendental meditation,
Yeah.
I remembered my teacher who, I have many teachers, and I'm kind of a, there is no one guru, like there's so many people to learn from. My heart's open to many, but because I was on retreat for 6 days with Thich Nhat Hanh, who died January 22nd. He had a stroke in 2014, so he hadn't been active. He had been cared for by his monastics. I saw him. I had an image, as you talked about your teachers, of holding his hand and floating in the sky with him, almost like flying, but not not the rapid way that skydivers fall,
Yeah.
but more of a peaceful, and more. And then I saw some of his nuns that I had met that I particularly felt in a connection with because of how they communicated, that we were holding hands and floating through the air together. But in that skydiver position where you're where you're kind of on your belly, but it wasn't scary and thrilling. It was peaceful and happy. And so it just felt like a good honoring and a good moment to say, because that was only well, he was in Vietnam when he died. He spent his last 4 years there. It's only been a few days. The ceremonies for him are still going on. So I just felt like it was a lovely way to connect to him as he enters the great mystery. And I know everybody who participates in FibroCoach.Online will have a different knowing or understanding of what the great mystery is once our physical bodies are no longer functioning. But I felt that I could connect with him.
That's nice.
In a metaphorical way. I'm not talking like literally, like, yeah. It's not time to put me on psychiatric meds, but
No.
But I just it felt so beautiful and it was so interesting. It was a very rich meditation. So thank you.
Glad you like it, and then I think perhaps it will help you with making some decisions too. If you listen to it again and then go straight into journaling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said that you had some decisions to make this week, so hopefully that will help. I hope so.
Yeah.
So it will be there for you. And Leah, will you put the meditation itself in the group today so that Susan can access it? Put it in wherever I'm not sure if it'll be in guides or files, but put it in one of those places so Susan can access it.
You know what? And I've been doing some practice one-on-one with a friend who also likes to do a lot of guided meditation, and we're more disciplined about it if we get on a Zoom and do it together.
Right.
She and I both like periods of silence, after there's, but I'm also very aware that many of us humans have what some teachers call monkey minds, where our minds just chatter away. In fact, I've had people tell me, you chat, it's like chattering. I call myself a chatty Cathy. But when I go into a meditative space, I like a lot of silence. But I think the way that you guided it can be very helpful to people that have their monkey mind interfering. Because if they listen to your very calm words and they stay with that very calm energy, then they have less time to activate that. Focus in on, that would just be my recommendation to someone that's new to meditation and guided visualizations. Just really immerse yourself in each of Christine's words and be with the peace in her voice. And that will help slow that monkey mind. Because when I first started meditating, I needed that when I could meditate in silence, but it really wasn't very helpful. When I first started meditating, I needed the guided visualizations until I had done a lot of years of practice.
Yes, years of practice do help, because when I started, I was monkey mind, completely. And it's interesting. My background is English, French, Irish, and Scottish, so I used to say that I had a war in my head.
Oh.
Because monkey mind from all my ancestral lines, like the thoughts were coming from everywhere, and it was it wasn't necessarily fighting, but there was just all of this stuff, and meditation became a way to control the stuff.
Thank you. That's helpful to me, because ancestrally, this last year I've really tapped into how in my mother and father they really felt poor. Mm-hmm. Because of union assembly line work that my father had. He had decent pay and benefits and was able to support 3 people on 1 income, and built a house, a 3-bedroom, 2-brick house, but they still felt very poor because they remembered that from their childhoods, and then their parents had lived an even poorer life than they had. And so I think back, on my dad's line, there's a sense of constant stress about money and panic, and will there be enough food, and where will we live? And that's what's that. So just thank you for saying that about your ancestors warring within you, because that also taps into my decision, that I feel that energy in my dad grasping and being worried about money all the time, even when I haven't had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Well, yeah, and monkey mind is, I think a lot of monkey mind is all of the stuff that was conditioned into us before we were 7, because these are all unconscious thoughts. They're all just there, because as kids, you just absorb everything all around you, and people don't have to even say things because we observe what they're doing, how they're doing it. We pick up their quirks. We pick up their opinions about money, about church, about, about other people, about races, about, everything. And so all this stuff is just all floating around in our heads. And it can seem very chaotic until you learn to just accept that, you don't have to follow all of these thoughts, because you will clearly drive yourself crazy if you try to follow all of the thoughts that are going on. And we tend to pick the negative ones. If we, once the monkey mind is just there, it's unless you teach yourself to pick positive thoughts, the human nature is to pick the negative ones. And that's a survival skill, because we had to be on watch for tigers and lions, and it kept us alive. So that negativity bias is a safety valve. But when it's going on inside your own head, it can be very dangerous. And so meditation allows us to just observe the thoughts that are in our head and, see them for what they are. They're just thoughts. We don't know if they're true or false. After you meditate for a while, you can record some of your thoughts and think about them. You can start to evaluate them. And that takes us into what Leah said that she would like to talk about, which is the limiting beliefs. So we'll just, go straight into that. So the limiting beliefs that we have come from our conditioning. Okay, so there are all of these things that we learned from other people, and they're all in our subconscious mind. And since they're in our subconscious, they haven't been judged. In our mental mind, in our conscious mind, we can decide whether something is right or wrong, good or bad, true or false. In our subconscious, we can't. We just take anything that comes. And for me, I love watching fantasy. And that's because it goes straight into my subconscious mind. And I'm perfectly happy with just letting it be and believing what's in front of me. I just, suspend disbelief and enjoy my story. Okay. That's fine to do for entertainment. But when you're doing that with the thoughts that you're using to create your life, it's problematic, because we can't judge them in the subconscious. So we have to bring them into our conscious before we can decide whether they are limiting beliefs or whether they're beliefs we want to be making our decisions on. The reason this is a problem is that we make our decisions quickly and automatically many times a day. And all of those quick automatic decisions are made from our subconscious beliefs. So if we want to be conscious about how we're choosing, we have to be aware of the fact that there are these beliefs in our subconscious that may or may not be true, that may or may not be our own, and consider those, be aware of them when you're making a decision so that you don't go down that wrong path of being worried about money. And that's when I learned too, Susan, that's when I'm still trying very, very hard to get out of is this somehow a fear of money. And it's a fear of money whether you have it or not. It's just that money is this thing, and money is really just energy. and you see it, it comes into your life, it goes out of your life, you exchange it for things. It's just an exchange. And the fact that, I mean, it used to be paper and coins that we exchanged. Now we hardly ever do that. Now it's, plastic transactions. Now it's just a tap, so it's becoming more and more obvious that it's energy. And we have to normally expend energy of our own doing some kind of work in order to earn money. Unless you have a lot of money, and then your money can earn money for you. But people who are in wealth are taught all of the things, or they had learned subconsciously all of the things about being wealthy. They know that money makes money. And so if you're born in that environment, that is the belief you have. And so you will make your choices in life based on wealthy mindset, because that's what you learned. You understand that money makes money, that it's not something you need to worry about, that it grows unless you waste it. So we need to take a look at, need to ask questions, like what is my belief about health? What is my belief about, not only my belief, but my beliefs about health, about doctors, about medicine, about surgery, about church, about religion, about school, about life. And when you're making a decision about something, it's helpful to look at what are the areas that might affect your beliefs around the decision, so that you can figure out, whether the beliefs that you're holding unconsciously might be tugging you in a wrong direction. And I see your hand is up. You're either clapping or you have your hand up.
Yeah, my brain was just, you may be one of the people who pointed out how I connect things. But my brain was just connecting what my teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, says about, there's going to be a cat walking through the screen. My brain was connecting what Thich Nhat Hanh says about letting go of past regrets and dropping the worry and anxiety about the futures, because all we have is the now. And it also heals our ancestral line and creates a more beautiful future for the people we interact with and our descendants and our children, our nieces, our nephews. So he said in his 80s, one day he was walking and doing his mindful breath in and out with the steps, and was just completely at one with his steps on the earth and nature. And then he had a thought of his father, of course, long dead, because he was, Thai was 85 and Thich Nhat Hanh was 85. And he said to his dead father, who's half of his DNA, he said, "Look, Daddy, we're walking peacefully and happy." Because part of why he wanted to be a monk was he had never seen happiness in his family. And the first happy person he saw was a monk in Vietnam when he was a young boy. Wow. And that made him want to be a monk, because he saw that they had happiness. But that's what you're saying. Beautiful. So we're healing those limiting beliefs and taking care of them, and then letting them go, so that we can live in peace in the now, in a skillful way. And that heals all those things, like you said, that we got before age 7, and then we continue to layer them on in elementary school, high school, on through our lives. But that core we got early on is like for me, it's one of them is a bad habit of having a snack at night, because that's what my family did every night.
I do the same thing. I can go all day without eating. And Leah knows that. She'll say it's breakfast time, and it's like, it's really lunchtime. It's like, oh, I haven't had breakfast yet. Or I'll go out in the kitchen and want to heat a cup of coffee, and I'll find my oatmeal there. It's like, oh, I made it. I forgot to eat it.
Oh, and I think of you as so,
not
such
with food,
wow.
Because I try to multitask. And when I'm multitasking, food isn't important to me. When I sit my butt in front of the TV, food becomes important.
That's how it wasn't. Yeah. And we turned off the TV to eat dinner. or lunch. But in my family, after dinner, maybe we had early dinner. So maybe at 8 o'clock when a show came on, then we had our snack in front of the TV.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So when I turn on, when I go to relax and watch Netflix or TV or something, it's like, well, now I'm hungry.
So our coach isn't perfect. No,
Our
I do.
coach is definitely not even close to being perfect. Our coach makes all kinds of mistakes, and I make lots of them in front of Leah. Because Leah is very good at technology and she's organized. And so when I get myself in a kerfuffle, I'll contact Leah. And, it's like, how do I do? So yeah, Leah knows that our coach is not perfect, a long ways off. And one of the things also in the conditioning and the limiting beliefs, any kid who has had any kind of trauma or abuse is definitely affected throughout their lives by that experience. And it changes the brain, it changes our thought patterns, it changes all kinds of things, which affect patterns all through life. And unfortunately, our coach was a victim of childhood trauma. And so I believe that's why I ended up with fibromyalgia. I think that was how my body got me to finally figure things out. I was sick enough that I had to have medical care. I was sick enough I needed psychiatric care, and we identified that I had been abused. And then I had years to get to work with it and accept it. And now it's just a fact, but we hold the muscle memory of traumas that happen to us. They stay in us. And whether those traumas are from car accidents or surgeries or, whether it's, abuse or spanking or, whatever happened, accidents, I broke my butt roller skating. I literally broke my tailbone, and those traumas stay. And so that's why back pain is my thing. And we tend to suffer pains in the same areas where we've had trauma. And if people have had a lot of trauma, that can be everywhere. And maybe that's why fibromyalgia pain can be just anywhere. And also our whole nervous systems are affected with fibromyalgia and other of these conditions. And so we are on hyper alert. We remain in the sympathetic response where we're on fight, flight, or freeze, instead of being in a relaxed parasympathetic state. And meditation can take us from that nervous, agitated, hyper-aware state right into being parasympathetic, relaxed, and go back into rest and digest instead of fight, flight, and freeze. And that to me is one of the biggest benefits of meditation. And I've been meditating since my 20s, on and off. I've been more consistent with meditation than I have yoga. I started yoga at the same time too, but I don't know. But meditation was actually prescribed by a doctor for me when I was only in my 20s, because he saw my hyperactivity and my, he saw that there was something that I needed to calm down, and meditation was really, really helpful for that for me. So Leah, do you have specific questions about limiting beliefs? Because we've been talking, I've been talking all around it. But if you have specific questions, I'd be happy to address them.
I
don't want to put you on the spot though.
I have not. I have not. I just agree with all of that you have said about from the subconscious mind, subconsciously, and everything, and in terms of money and all the abuses like that. I totally agree with that, because in those experiences it will pile up, and then
Yeah.
as you grow older, you wouldn't notice that that they are part of you also, when
Yes.
you're going to make some decision, or you're in your belief that you came into into such a time that you have to decide, and then they're part of it. So I'm glad that,
Yeah.
yes, I'm
Those
glad that,
beliefs are actually part of us until we judge them and decide they're not. So we
yes,
have to make them conscious in order to decide whether we want them or not. While they're
yes,
unconscious, they're running our lives. They're making the decisions. You know, when we're unconscious and just relaxed, we'll eat the snacks. We'll
yes,
finish the ice cream. Guilty.
yes,
uh,
yes, totally
but
agree.
yeah. And you've got an interesting perspective now as a parent of a young child,
Mm,
because your child is still absorbing all of these things, and so you need to make sure that there are lots of good
yes,
impressions. You know, so he's not only picking up negative things around him, he's picking up all kinds of positive things. And you're a very positive person, and Lance
yes.
seems to be too. And I see Dash with all his smiles, so I'm sure you're creating all kinds of
That kind of environment.
limitless, your limitless beliefs too,
Yes,
so that
yes,
he understands that there's potential.
yes, yes,
Because that's what you guys are all about. You're all about building your business and building, you know, before you build your family, and just, you know,
yes.
making a better life. And that's
Mm,
your focus. And since that's your focus, and he sees you doing it because you're all
mm,
together. He's home from
yes,
school, you know, with
yes,
COVID, the three of you are together.
yes,
And so
at
he gets
home.
to see you doing work, and he gets to see your beautiful personality, you
Yes,
know, because when you're working, you know, your client is already always right, no matter how screwed up she is at the time. Your client, you know, you have a very professional and very pleasant tone, and that's wonderful for your son.
yes,
You
yes,
know,
I totally
that's,
agree.
yeah. So yay.
Yes,
So that's good.
Now it's
So
interesting, and I have seen that with Leah. If it's okay if to give you a compliment, there there aren't a lot of people who are really, really good at technical and information technology and handling the screens, and who have this loving, gentle presence, even and can participate like this in the group. And so, and your voice, your presence on the screen, that's a rare skill to be able to combine that. And yeah, if your son's just in the room doing his own work so that he can continue to learn while he's at home, or playing with his dog while, you know, in the next room, and he hears this peaceful voice, even if he's not aware of it, it's in the unconscious in the background, and he's picking up on that you sound calm and loving when you're as you talk to us. So I'm just kind of reiterating what Christine's saying, but it's amazing. You know, I can get all caught up in the technical skills and trying to learn them, and I can get very frustrated. But you stay calm and peaceful, and no matter what's happening, and you find a solution quickly because you stay in that place of calm and love. So thank you for that.
yeah.
thank you, thank you so much.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you, Leah. We know that. We know that. So our hour is up for today, um, and if you have something in mind for tomorrow, we'll take requests for tomorrow as to which topics, and then we can begin, you know, knowing what our schedule will be for tomorrow. And if somebody else pops in, you know, we'll certainly take their requests too. But do you have anything that you would like to work on tomorrow? And we'll start the session with what is selected here today.
If someone else joins, please prioritize them,
Yeah.
if they want to talk, but or want to type in the chat or Facebook what they want. But I'm starting to feel maybe like a tapping or
Okay.
or a movement, like the doorway exercise, so something a little more physical. And I
Okay.
don't know if limiting beliefs, you know, letting go of our beliefs as we focus on the physical. Oh yeah, tapping does that, doesn't it?
Tapping
I've
does
done it a
that.
few times.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's very helpful. That gives us something to start with if we're, you know, instead of wandering around saying, "Oh, what will we do? Nobody's here to tell me what to do." because I want this to be belong to the group rather than me dictating what we're going to talk about. So that's very helpful. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you very much for participating. And this makes it much better for anybody who watches the replay. If we've got, if we can have some exchange of information rather than me just talking for an hour. So I appreciate your being here. I appreciate your input. And we will do this all again tomorrow. Thank you very much. Namaste.